Hey everybody, it's Mr. Marshall here at Stony Lane. Did you know? Did you know that the United States is turning 250 years old this year? That's a big birthday, right? And so we're learning about all different states in the United States. And today we are going to talk about something called state capitals. Every state in the United States has what's called a capital city. That's a city where all the leaders go, and that's where they make decisions about how to run that state. Okay? Like the United States as a whole country has a capital city in what's called Washington, D.C., which is over here. But the entire country, every state has its own capital city where the state leaders go to figure out what to do in the state. And 4 of those capital cities are named after United States presidents. And we're going to learn about those today. Do you know the name of the capital city of your state? Maybe it's one of these 4 that's named for a United States president. Let's see. The first one is a capital city called Jackson. Jackson. Do you know what state Jackson is from? Let's take a look. Jackson is the capital city of Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi, right? And so here is where Mississippi is on the map. It's in the south. And Jackson is named after Andrew Jackson. You've probably seen his face if you've ever seen a $20 bill. He was the 7th president of the United States. He was the president from 1829 to 1837. And the city of Jackson, Mississippi was named for Andrew Jackson before he was ever president. Because before he was president, he was the general of an army. And the people of Jackson, Mississippi wanted to honor him by naming their capital city after him. So that's the story of Jackson, Mississippi. Here's number 2. Ready? There's a capital city called Jefferson City. Jefferson City. Do you know what state that's in? I'll tell you. It's in a state called Missouri. And Missouri is right here in the Midwest, right along what's called the Mississippi River. Jefferson City is named for Thomas Jefferson, who was the 3rd president of the United States. He was president from 1801 to 1809. So why was Thomas Jefferson, why was the capital of Missouri named after Thomas Jefferson? Let's see why. Because when Thomas Jefferson was president, in 1803, he did something very big. He started what's called the Louisiana Purchase. And so up until that point, the United States was this part. And he bought all this land that's here on this map in green from France. And that's called the Louisiana Purchase. And it made the country so much bigger. It made the country so much bigger. And Missouri is like right here. And so they wanted to thank him by naming their capital after him, Jefferson City. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson never ever went to that city? He never saw the city that was named after him. The next one, here we go. This is Madison. Madison. There's a state whose capital is Madison. Do you know what state that is? I'll tell you. It's a state called Wisconsin. And here's Wisconsin in the upper Midwest, right here near the Great Lakes. Okay? It's named for James Madison, who was the shortest president ever. He was 5 foot 4 inches tall. He was the 4th president of the United States from 1809 to 1817. James Madison wrote what's called the Constitution, which is a big document that explains the laws and how our country should run. Okay? But he was also the 4th president of the United States. And if you take a look, this is a map of Wisconsin. And when Wisconsin wasn't really a state yet, they decided to build a big city here between these 2 lakes. This is Lake Michigan. That's one of the Great Lakes. But there are these 2 big lakes in Wisconsin. And right in between is a little piece of land that's called an isthmus. An isthmus is a piece of land in between lots of water. And so they built the capital city there because a lot of people lived like in that area. And so James Madison died in 1836. And when Wisconsin became a state in 1848, they decided to make that the capital. But when he died, they named that city after him in his honor. Okay? One more. This is a president who I know you've heard of. Ready? This is Lincoln. There is a state whose capital is called Lincoln. Do you know what state that is? Well, it's actually kind of close to Wisconsin. It's not right next to it, but it's close. It's Nebraska. Nebraska is here a little further west than the other states we were talking about. And of course, it's named after Abraham Lincoln, who was the 16th President of the United States from 1861 to 1865. So, the people of Nebraska used to have their capital in a place called Omaha. But Omaha was really far out in the east, and a lot of the people lived like closer this way. So they wanted to move the capital closer to where the people were. And they moved it here, and it actually had a different name. But then when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, they wanted to honor him by naming the capital of their state, you guessed it, Lincoln. Okay, so there you have it. Every state has a capital city where its leaders go to run the state, and maybe if you learn more about these capitals, maybe you can learn more about the capital of your state or the states around your state, and that'll teach you more about government. Okay, so be part of like celebrating our 250th anniversary. It's sort of a big deal, isn't it? Okay, do that, and I'll see you next time.